Yeah, you are now tuned to the truth with G. It's fight
and uplift.
and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, just say the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. G. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride. G. G.
All right. Welcome back to the show. You listen to the Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham. You know me as G. Once again, we are back to talk about issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well with everyone. Hope all is well. It is good to be back. I have not been before you in about a week and a half or so. I believe it's been about a week and a half that I've been since I did a live show. And, you know, my apologies, but however life goes on, you know, I got a lot going on. So we had some issues. I think we had some technical issues a couple of weeks ago, a week or so ago. But anyway, I've been busy, and I apologize that I have not been on the air as much as I have wanted to, especially in the last week and a half. I think the last time I was on was 2 weeks ago Monday. So I missed like 3 shows. And, you know, part of it due to the holiday and whatnot. The holiday did fall on one of my days, and I was, when I say holiday, I mean the 4th of July. It's not a holiday for me. It was a day off, but I was out and about that day. But anyway, I am glad to be back before you. I'm thankful to still be here and to be able to do what I do. Today is a very, very important show. So if you are already on Facebook, I need you to go ahead and share. I need you to get as many people on, and I need as many people watching or listening to the show as possible. With this topic for today is Project 2025. And I really don't need my people to be stupid at this juncture in life. I really need us to be educated. I need us to be informed on what's going on, because this vote is this vote in November is the most important and going to be the most influential vote of our lifetime. This ranks up there with the days of trying to get civil rights and you know, just trying to get basic freedoms. So, you know, this show is very, very important. So, but anyway, let's take care of the particulars first. And once again, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Thank you for being loyal listeners. Thank you for everything that you have done. We're coming up on 4 years, July 30th. July 30th is the date that I started this show 4 years ago. And I'm tripping because it's been 4 years already. And it don't seem like that long, but it has been 4 years that I've been coming before you. I started out the first year. I know the first year plus I was doing 3 days a week. And it got a little overwhelming, you know, trying to produce three shows a week. So I cut it down to 2 days. And, you know, it's been Monday, Thursday for a while. And if you've been noticing lately, Thursday's been kind of rough for me. I try to get on, but I am on today. It is Thursday. I know, you know, some of you guys got used to me not being here on Thursdays, but I made it a point to get here before you today because we have to talk about this Project 2025. We have to talk about it, and I want to get your take on it as well. Not taking phone calls today, but you can drop your comments. If you're listening on Facebook, drop your comments into the comment section on Facebook. If you're out there, let me know you're out there. Hit the thumbs up, hit a heart, hit something. Let me know. Let me know that you are out there somewhere. I need to know where my people at. But you can listen to the show on WPMMradio.com. You can go to the website. We're also on YouTube. You can go to my Facebook page, Ttwg Graham, and listen to the show as well. We should be, I think JD out there, he should be connecting us on the Facebook page as well. Any streaming device that you have, you can connect You can download the app. It's a free app. Download WPMM Radio. Download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, either one, depending on the device that you have, and you can take us anywhere that you can get a internet connection. So, but anyway, WPMM right here, WPMM. We play more music. We play the best in R&B and jazz, neo soul, independent hip hop, old school music. Once again, WPMMradio.com is the website, and on all streaming apparatuses and all streaming platforms, you can catch us. Also, if you have someone that's not tech savvy, just send them a text message. Just put WPMMradio.com in the message field. Send it to them. All they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show that way. The views and the things expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, extra group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Now that we got that out the way. But once again, I'm back. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share, please, if you would. Go ahead and share even after the show. It would be posted on my Facebook page. I encourage everyone to listen today. If you're on Facebook, tag someone so that they can jump on and listen as well. Project 2025. I hope you have heard what that is, heard about it, or know something about it at this point in time. You need to be educated on it. This Project 2025 is going to change democracy as we know it. It's going to change the direction of the United States to steer it in the direction of a dictatorship. We already know that the orange idiot, before he left office, he made it to where he has the Supreme Court in his pocket, if you will. The Supreme Court has made some rulings that are politically based, and the court is not supposed to be politicized. It's not supposed to be biased towards any particular political party. But we are finding out that that is so very not true in this day and age. The Supreme Court is highly political. I would venture to say at this point, the Supreme Court is corrupt. Because it's doing the bidding of one individual, the cult leader, the orange idiot. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we're talking about Donald Trump. He has selected the 3 judges to stack the judges in regards to the conservatives. Right now, the Supreme Court is 6 conservatives to 3 liberals, if you will. So all the rulings are going to fall in the direction of the Republican Party. And now that Republican Party is officially the party of Trump. And the rulings that they are making are not sound rulings. They are not fair rulings. Just recently, they have ruled to grant, I'm not going to say everyone, I'm going to say to grant Trump immunity from his dealings while he was president of the United States. So now they have set up for a dictatorship. They have set up to where the president of the United States can do anything that he wishes, as long as they call it an official duty. Get away with it with no consequences. Every legal scholar that viewed this particular case, even when it initially went before the court, every legal scholar that talked about this had deemed this case dead in the water. They said there's no way in the world that Supreme Court is going to allow immunity for anyone, because it's supposed to be set up where no one is above the law. And they did exactly the opposite of what all the legal scholars predicted that they would do. And again, it's because the orange idiot, he's the leader of a cult, and all these stupid people on the right are in members of his cult. And I hope there's some cult members on the show today, because I'm still looking for you. I do want to talk to you. So if you are out there, if you're a member of the Republican Party or the party of Trump or the cult, if you will, hit me up. Hit me up. Send me a message. Let me know who you are, where you are. I can get you on the show. We will do it virtual, but I can get you on the show and I can let you say and try to articulate why you are a member of the Republican Party, why you follow Trump, why you support Trump, why are you supporting the agenda that the Republican Party is putting forward, and what they're going to propose if the orange idiot wins the election. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. I want to pick your brain. I'm going to allow you to tell me exactly what's going on in your mind. Why do you have this mentality? And at some point in the conversation, if your answers aren't feasible, or if your answers aren't reasonable, if they're not based in any common sense or any fact, at that point in time, I'm gonna call you an idiot, and I'm gonna explain to you why you're an idiot, and then I'm gonna educate you on how not to be an idiot anymore. So I can do you some justice, but if you're out there, if you're a Trump supporter, a Republican or what have you, hit me up. You can inbox me on Facebook. You can email me, Ttwg. I'm sorry, my email is thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. Just spelled out the way it is, truthwithg@yahoo.com. Or inbox me on Facebook, and I'll reach out to you, and we can definitely sit down and have this conversation. There's conversation and there's education transfer, if you will. We can do that. So, but anyway, Facebook people, I need y'all to share this. I promise you, I need you to share it. It's so very important. And I know it bothers me and it upsets me that people aren't taking this serious. Project 2025 is real. It's going to 100-page document that outlines what the government is going to do or not do, if you will, if the Republicans take control of the Oval Office or the office of the presidency. So, and I'm going to go through some of the key factors today, and kind of just hit on some of the key issues. There's a lot of stuff in there, but we're going to touch on some of the key issues that's going to you immediately if this Project 2025 goes into effect. So I do want to hear from you. If you're out there, put your thoughts into the comment section on Facebook. Again, we're not taking phone calls today, but we are taking comments on Facebook. Now, I apologize. I'm trying to engineer at the same time I'm talking, and I can't talk, and I'm not that gifted where I can do two things at once. But anyway, Project 2025. Just go down a few things that Project 2025 is going to affect. I'm going to call it Project 25 just to be short, if you will. And why this at the top of the list, it just happened to be at the top of the list, so I'm not going to switch around. We're going to go from top to bottom, if you will. It's going to end no-fault divorce. And if you're a married person, there's no-fault divorce. It's going to end that. So amicable split is no longer going to be in the conversation, if you will. When you say no fault, that means that basically that nobody's contesting anything, and a divorce can go through clean and easy. But that's going to be affected with Project 25. Okay, women's rights. Women's rights are definitely on the chopping block in Project 25. If you're a woman and you're trying to or planning on voting for Trump, I want to talk to you too. I don't want to just talk to the men. I want to talk to you women as well. Because if you're a woman and you're voting agenda that the Republicans have. I question your judgment. I question your thought process. I question your integrity. I question your ability to be independent. I question your intelligence. You have to be an idiot to vote for the agenda, not just Trump, but for the agenda of the Republican Party. But Project 25 is going to do a complete ban on abortions without any exceptions. Again, a complete nationwide ban. Now, right now, with the last ruling, when Trump encouraged the courts to get rid of Roe v. Wade, they got rid of it in the federal level and made it a state issue, and most of the states chose to either or get rid of abortions altogether. But this Project 25 will make it a blanket across the nation, an abortion ban. And I'm not going to sit here and say I am for or against abortion. I will say that I am for the rights of women to do as they wish with their own bodies. I don't think there's any government or any legislation that should be put forth to where it tells a woman what she can and cannot do with her body, whether if I agree with abortion or not. That's not even the issue. The issue is taking the rights of women away when it comes to their own body, when it comes to their own womb. A bunch of old men that probably ain't hitting nothing, telling women what they cannot do with their own coochie. And I hate to be that explicit, but that's just the reality of the situation. For just joining, we're talking Project 25. I need everybody to share, join in on the conversation. If you're out there, hit a thumbs up, hit a heart. Let me know you're out there. I would love to see everybody on this show tonight. But complete ban on abortions is coming along with Project 25 without exceptions. That without exceptions is so very important because those exceptions normally pertain to rape, incest, molestation, those type of things. So with this Project 25, there are going to be young kids out there, unfortunately, young girls out there that will be forced to carry the baby of their rapist, of their molester, of their own fathers, of their own family members, because we have a bunch of dumbasses and a bunch of idiots and a bunch of pedophiles out there that young children. And unfortunately, a lot of that abuse, if you will, results in pregnancies. And the families of these young girls won't even have an option to make a decision for their own child based on the situation as to either carry that child or terminate the pregnancy within a reasonable amount of time. I don't know what the Republicans are thinking, especially when it comes to rape, incest. I'm trying to understand why. Again, I'm not saying I'm for or against abortion. I just believe in the rights of women. Trying to understand why anybody would want a child, and these young girls are being able to bear children at a younger and younger age. You got 10, 11, 12-year-olds that are being raped in their own home by their fathers, their stepfathers, their uncles. And the Republicans want to force these kids to carry the baby of their rapist, carry that baby to term. And will make it illegal for anyone to try to rectify the situation. Project 2025 will make it legal where doctors, nurses, hospital staff can go to prison for performing an abortion. Even when it comes to abortion, and the the official definition under this legislation, abortion, they won't even be able to carry out. I'm gonna call it an extraction, if you will. If a woman miscarries during her pregnancy, because the procedures that are performed in a miscarriage are the same procedures or very similar to, that's depending on the situation, procedure of an abortion. That procedure will be outlawed, it will be banned, it will be against the law to do this procedure, which means that women are going to be in risk of dying because they cannot get the medical care necessary, even if they have a miscarriage. They would have to carry that baby to the point to where they would actually have to have a natural birth. The fuck. And women are voting for it. Women are voting for this to be implemented into our society. I understand. Again, I want to talk to you women. Hit me up. Inbox me on Facebook, TTWG Graham. And also, you can email me at thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. I want to talk to you. I need to pick your brain. I need to understand where you're coming from. I need to understand what happened, what went wrong in your thought process to where you are okay with this. I really need to talk to you. But yeah, a blanket ban on abortions across the nation. They're looking that Project 2025 will ban contraceptives. So with the contraceptive, technically a contraceptive is anything that prevents pregnancy. They're going after the women products first. They're going after the IUDs. They're going after the birth control pill. They're going after the morning after pill. They're going after the abortion pill. Those will be outlawed. They will not be made available to anyone. And we know that before Roe v. Wade, not Roe v. Wade, but before the Supreme Court did what they did and made it to where you can get an abortion 50 years ago. You know, a lot of women were dying because they were getting these backroom tabletop abortions. They were seeking them from whoever would do them, and a lot of women were dying. They were dying on the table. They were bleeding to death after the fact because they were not getting proper care, medical care, and they did not want to carry that child to term. So they created and implemented desperate measures in order to terminate the pregnancy, and it cost a lot of their lives. That's what we're going back to. That's what we're going back to. But the contraceptives, all the contraceptives, the IUDs, birth controls, whatever you know, I'm assuming condoms going to be in there at some point because it is a contraceptive. It's a prophylactic, if you will, and I'm sure that's going to be in there somewhere as well. And with the way things going, I mean, I may have some kids listening to the show, but shit, you got to learn someday. With the way the legislation is going to be set up, it literally can go after freaking masturbation. It can make masturbation illegal. Another thing with this Project 2025 is that they're going after the porn industry. They're going to make it illegal to produce or watch porn. And the sad part about it, the same idiots that are proposing this legislation are the same ones that's watching the porn. Go figure. But anyway, But women's rights are in jeopardy of this with this Project 2025. Higher taxes for working class. It will raise the taxes for the working class, with the taxes as well for the top 1% of all the major corporations and the richest people in the land. It's going to cut their taxes. They're going to be paying less taxes than you and I. They make millions of dollars a year, and they're going to pay less taxes than you and I. I don't know about you, but I hate tax season. I'm not one of those people that get freaking refunds. I have to write a check about every year, going back several years now. I'm having to write a freaking check. But these billionaires are going to get away with paying very little or no tax whatsoever because of the tax cuts that are being proposed under this Project 2025. Moving along with the Project 2025, what is going to change if this comes down? Eliminate the unions for workers' protections. Right now, the unions and have EEOC. You have all these agencies that are there to protect workers, to look out for the workers. That's going to go away under Project 2025. The CEOs are going to be able to dictate what you can do and what you can't do while on the job. There will be no regulations for it. There will be no recourse for you if you choose not to conform to whatever the demands of the are. You will have no legal standing, a legal leg to stand on, if you will, because you won't have any union representation. The unions are going away. We know the unions can be a great asset, and at the same time, they can be bad in some situations as well. But for the most part, union assets, especially when it comes to protecting the workers, and that's why a lot of companies don't want you to unionize, because they know that the unions are there to oversee the treatment and make sure that they're treating their employees correctly. And if they don't, the unions are there to hold them accountable for that. But anyway, all that's going away under Project 2025. Again, people, educate yourself. If you just joined us, we're talking about Project 2025 today, going over some of the key factors of this Project 2025. And this is real, people. It is real and real. Something that will come to fruition if the if the orange idiot gets in office. And we mess around and lose the House, or don't lose the Senate, if you will. The Senate is the only barrier, the only line of defense that we have at this point. Is the Senate. We need to get out and vote so we can take back over the House. We need to maintain the Senate, and we need to maintain the office of the presidency. What I need, and I'm getting off course here just a little bit, but I'm gonna come back here just a second. What I need Biden to do is go ahead and use his executive powers and put 3 more liberal judges on the Supreme Court. He can do that with the stroke of a pen. So it's real, people. It is real, and if I seem frustrated, it's because I am, and I'm frustrated because I find too many people that's not willing to learn or willing to educate themselves on the dangers of this Republican takeover. It's not a game. It's not a game. Actually, another component of Project 2025 is going to raise the retirement age. We know we're already struggling trying to get the retirement age as it stands right now at 65, and I think it's up to 67. I've been hearing it's going up to 67, but I have not been able to verify that. So don't quote me on that. 65 is bad enough. Who wants to work to 65? I don't, but unfortunately, I may have to. But they want to raise the retirement age. I don't know what type of activities are feasible for people over the age of 65. Uh, Most of the people over, hopefully I stay young. Hopefully I still be young when I hit 65 and still moving around. But for the majority of people, once they hit 65, it's like their days are numbered. You know, they're literally numbered, but they look like their days are numbered. And they act like their days are numbered. The medical issues that they have say that their days are numbered. And now you want them to continue to work for another few years when you raise the retirement age, and they barely making it at 65. But anyway, Project 2025 is going to affect the retirement age. Cut Social Security. Speaking of retirement, most people look forward to getting their Social Security after retirement. Once you reach age 65, most people, a lot of people are retiring around 62, 63 years old. And once they get their Social Security, you know, they got their pension, they get their Social Security, they're cruising at this point. But Project 2025 is putting Social Security in jeopardy. Social Security may be cut. Also, Medicare. Medicare as well can be cut under Project 2025. That's their goal. They want to end the Affordable Care Act. If you don't know what the Affordable Care Act is, they kept referring to it as Obamacare when Obama was in office. He the one implemented the Affordable Care Act, and they adopted the phrase Obamacare. But Obamacare provides insurance for thousands, millions of families, if you will, family and children. And without the Affordable Care Act, a lot of people would not be able to even go visit a doctor because you have to have insurance to go into a doctor's office. If you don't have any insurance, they're not going to even invite you in. If you got cash money to pay, you may get in the door. But um, they're trying to get rid of. They tried it when Trump was in office. They couldn't do it because they had nothing to replace it with. Even though the orange idiot lied, told a bunch of lies, and said how he have the resources and whatnot to replace the Affordable Care Act. And when it came down to it, he had nothing. It was all a big lie. So, but anyway, raise prescription drug prices. Under the Biden administration just got the insulin, got a cap on insulin. The legislation was passed not too long ago to where I think the cap on insulin is $35 a month. But prior to that, it was much more to get insulin. People were having to decide if they're going to get their insulin or if they're going to eat. They have to decide if they are going to get their insulin or they're going to put gas in their car. The Biden administration got the prices cut and put a cap on insulin prices to where they cannot be charged more than $35 for their insulin for the month. And if you know anything about that insulin, it you know, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. People have to make life decisions in order to stay on the medications. But yeah, we're looking at raising prescription drug prices. That's one of the number one issues in the nation right now. Is the cost of drugs. People cannot afford their drugs to keep them healthy and keep them here on Earth. They can't afford it as it is, and the prices are going to go up under a Trump administration. Let's see, Department of Education. They're basically trying to scrub public education, but this Project 2025 is going to eliminate the Department of Education. Department of Education is the ones that that maintains and set all the guidelines and set all the parameters and everything for public schools to operate. And they maintain and from the grading to what bricks to put on new schools if they build a new school. But the Department of Education is going to be cut if the Republicans take over. The problem with that, the funding that will go towards public schools will now be made available for private schools, private institutions. And the goal for the Republican Party in Project 2025 is to make private schools more profitable. Again, for that 1%, that top 1%, makes it more profitable by getting these funds that are mandated for public education to be switched over to private studies. And also, we're supposed to be living on land that has separation of church and state, since we're talking about schools at the moment. It's supposed to be separation of church and state. Church meaning your religious beliefs, state meaning everything else that deals with the Constitution. Your job, your home, everything that deals with the Constitution is now in jeopardy because of the idiots on the right. Where are we? But the Department of Education is going away if Trump gets in office. Once again, they'll be using taxpayer money for private religious schools. There's a school in Oklahoma right now that has made it mandatory for their kids to be taught the Bible and for their teachers to teach the Bible. Mandatory. We try to stay away from religion talk too much in this conversation because I got a bone to pick with the religious people as well, and that's for another show. But as the schools in Oklahoma are being forced to teach the Bible as a curriculum. I think it get overturned in the courts. At least I hope it'll get overturned in the courts because I'm pretty sure someone has filed suit already. Because our kids should not have to go to school and be forced to learn about any religion. And Christians shouldn't be bullying people into practicing their religion. And that's exactly what's being done. These so-called Christians are bullying other religions to get them to conform and believe as they believe. I don't know what I am anymore. I have disassociated myself from Christian because as being a Christian, that means based on the track record, based on what's going on in our nation as we speak right now, that means I have to give up my morals, I have to give up my dignity, I have to give up my respect for others. I have to give up my judgment. I have to give up my independence to be a Christian in this day and age. And I'm not willing to hear those things I just named, in the name of Jesus. I'm just not willing to do it. And all the evil stuff that's going on in the world, all the bigotry, all the shaming of people, all of the corruption are being done by people who call themselves Christians. So I took a stance or a platform, if you will, to where I cannot be in the Christian religion or be a Christian, because right now being a Christian stands for something different in my brain. But anyway, that's for another show. But I said all that to say that the money that's used for public institutions and schools is going to go toward private schools again to make them more profitable. Uh, Teach Christian religious beliefs in schools. Like I said, it's already started. Look up Oklahoma. It's already started. They're already putting up the Ten Commandments in Louisiana, schools in Louisiana, school district over there. They're already making it mandatory that the Ten Commandments are displayed in classrooms. I personally don't want my child going to a school that it's supposed to be a public school. It's supposed to be a school that is part of the separation of church and state. I don't want my child going in there learning about the Bible if I'm not in agreement with my child learning about the Bible, because it's not a curriculum. It's not even history. But anyway, I digress. Moving on, if you're just joining me, we're talking about Project 2025. We're talking about the reasons why we need to reject anyone or anything that is planning to support this agenda. And that's particularly the Republican Party at this point. So I need you guys to be educated. It's going to end free and reduced lunch programs in our public schools. How fucking cruel can you be? The Republicans are just that freaking cruel. We know they were okay with putting kids coming across the border to seek refuge and seek asylum here in the United States. They deemed it to be okay to put kids in cages like dogs. So why wouldn't they? I'm just so irritated at people. And my apologies. I am so freaking irritated over what's going on in the world today. So y'all bear with me. Project 2025. But anyway, it's gonna end free and reduced lunch for our kids. And how can you go after our kids? Our kids are our future, and a lot of times with today's economy, with today's prices and the wages just not stacking up on against what it needs to stand up against. These kids rely on this breakfast and this lunch that they get during the day, during school time, and even programs have been implemented in the past few years to where when you're out of school, there's checkpoints that you can go to, that kids can go to in the summertime and still get a healthy meal, if you will. But all that's about to go away under Project 2025. It also going to end civil rights. It's going to end DEI protections in government. Basically, they want to send people back into the days of Jim Crow. So they want to end civil rights. They want to end DEI. They don't want to talk about anything that makes the white man looks bad. The talk on slavery, that's going to go away. You won't be able to talk about it in any public office or public school. But yeah, they're going after the lunch program as well. So, and you and I know that the best food don't come out the cafeteria at school, even though they may have a special dish. Where that one dish or those two dishes may taste good or whatnot, but it's God bless the hands that are preparing the food, but the way they have to prepare it has to be prepared so that it's nutritional. And sometimes you have to sacrifice taste and texture to be nutritious, if you will. So, school lunches program is going to go away. In civil rights and DEI promotions, again, we won't be able to learn about anything dealing with Black heritage, Black people, slavery, anything of that nature in any public institution or any public state property, if you will. Can't even talk about it. But it will ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education. That's even at the college level if it's at a public institution. They want to have an African American studies. They want to have a study class. We got to learn about the Europeans, but we can't learn about our ancestors. But we can learn about what the Europeans did every day, all day. That's the direction that we're going in, people. That's why be serious about this project 2025 and vote accordingly. Moving on, ban books and curriculum about slavery. So in other words, you want to be able to, even though you won't be able to learn about it, you won't be able to go to the library and pick up a book that talks about the plight of slaves or the escape of slaves or anything dealing with a slave. Those books are going to be banned from all public institutions, public schools. So it's going to be the burden is going to be put on the parents and those surrounding in the village to educate our people about our history, because you won't be able to learn diddly squat in our schools, and that's at K through 12 and at the college level if it's a state-run organization. Ending climate protections. And ending climate protections, increasing Arctic drilling, deregulating big business, and the oil industry. Right now, what they're talking about ending climate protections. That comes from we have this organization called EPA, the Environmental Protection Association. And what the EPA does is regulate the amount of emissions and biohazards and things of that nature that it gets into the air, gets into the soil. They regulate what companies can throw away and what they have to keep and recycle to protect the grounds, to protect the ozone. All that is going away under Project 2025. They want to eliminate that particular department. And these regulations are in place for a reason, people. They're in place for a reason. They're in place to protect you and I. Make sure major corporations aren't cutting corners when it comes to drilling, offshore drilling, onshore drilling, when it comes to emissions from your vehicles into the air, when it comes from emissions from these plants, these production plants, whether it be nuclear plants or agricultural plants or chemical plants. It regulates the amount of emissions and the amount of chemicals within those emissions. It regulates how much can be released into the atmosphere, which controls the environment. It controls climate, global warming. That's why our weather cycles are getting much worse, because the ozone is depleting. There's a hole in the ozone, and all these emissions are causing that hole to grow. And the more it grows, the more unstable our weather gets. The weather that we're having right now is nothing like the weather that we had 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Nothing like it. But anyway, those protections are going to go away. There won't be any regulations on businesses. They can pollute the air and do whatever they want to do without any type of kickback, if you will, without any consequences. Deregulate big businesses and the oil industry. Promote and expedite capital punishment. That's another big one. I'm not for the death penalty. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a deterrent, because if it did, people still wouldn't be killing folks if they knew that they was facing the corporal punishment, if you will, the electric chair. So corporal punishment, we know state of Texas and state of Florida is probably leading in deaths when it comes to executions, because both states have a dumbass for a governor who don't care about anybody, anything for themselves. But Texas and Florida is leading in executions. So, and if Project 2025 comes along, you're going to see more executions. You're going to see more people out of their out of the jurisdiction, if you will, to where it's going to be easier for the death penalty to be imposed. Also, with the death penalty under Project 2025, they're going to make it legislation to where it's going to allow drug dealers to be sentenced to death. I'm not an advocate of any type of drugs. I'm not an advocate of somebody selling drugs. I don't support any of that. However, do I think anybody should die for it? No. When it comes to death penalty, my stance on the death penalty is that nobody should have the right to say if someone lives or dies, regardless of that they have committed. No one should have the right to make a call to where someone lives or dies. I just don't agree with that. Moving on. I'm so discouraged right now. Let's see, in marriage equality. So, they're trying to make it to where the women don't have any rights and the men have all the rights in the household. And that's what they're talking about is as far as marriage equality. Condemn single mothers while promoting only family traditional families. And when I say a traditional family, that means a mother, a father, and children, biological children. So it's going to be consequences to single mothers. What those consequences are, is not laid out in the manifesto, if you will. But yeah, it's going to give single women less rights if they choose to. Well, they can't choose if they have a child. They don't have a choice in having a child if they get pregnant. Mass deportation of immigrants and the incarceration in camps. So they want to put the people that seeking asylum, seeking a better life, they want to put them in prisons. They want to deport them back to the countries that they fled, and they're fleeing for a reason. They're not just leaving because they just, woke up one morning and say, "Yeah, I think I moved to Florida," or "I think I moved out to Arizona or Texas." No, it's a thought process, which a lot of them aren't even prepared for. But anyway, in birthright citizenship. What birthright citizenship is? Birthright citizenship is when someone is born in this country, and someone is born in the United States, that deems them a United States citizen if they're born in the United States. They're trying to get that changed, because the reason why they're trying to get that changed is because Black and brown people will become the majority in a few years. The white will lose their majority. They won't be the majority anymore as far as population goes. And they are trying to do everything in their power to keep brown people from coming here, keep Black and brown people from, even though they got this abortion ban or whatnot, they don't even want Black people having kids. They don't want Black people mixing with the Mexicans or the Asians and having kids, because that's creating another minority, and they're looking to lose the minority. Probably not within my lifetime, but eventually they're going to become the minority. Where are we? ban Muslims from in the country. Again, I'm not Muslim, but I think that for this administration to target the Muslim religion, particularly to ban those people from coming into the United States, I think is a just a blatant, not a dog whistle, is a blatant show of racism. Remember, Trump tried to block people from coming in the country as well. He put on a Muslim ban to block Muslims. Somebody religion should not have anything to do with where they live or why they can't or can't live in a certain place. Eliminates federal agencies like the FDA, the EPA, the NRA. Um, those agencies again that we need. Uh, Also, and they're looking to continue to pack the Supreme Court. In the next administration, at least two to three appointees are going to be put on the Supreme Court in the next administration, due to either retirement or due to, dying, if you will. So in this next administration, 2 to 3 judges are going to be put on there. So it's going to allow conservatives to completely take over the Supreme Court. Also, another few things, allow employers to stop paying workers for overtime work. Right now, it's set to where if you work in your job and you work more than, unless you're on salary, you work more than 40 hours a week, you get paid time and a half or whatever, double time or whatever your company has set up for you to do. Under Project 2025, that's going to go away. It's going to allow employers to stop paying workers overtime pay. It's not going to be mandatory or a federal law, if you will, for overtime pay to be paid after 40 hours. Hopefully, these CEOs of these companies will recognize that the government is full of shit, and that they will, even though it's not a federal law or regulation, if you will, or policy, that they will continue to pay people for what they do, especially beyond that 40 hours, and keep overtime pay. We already talked about the cut Social Security, reinstate student loans. Right now, Biden is the Biden camp, or if you will, has forgiven a lot of student loan debt. They're still trying to get more. The Project 2025 is going to reverse that, and if it's reversed, they're trying to get the people who got their college loans waived to be reinstated, and now that debt is going to be right back on them. Institute a new tax on health insurance. So we already paying health insurance. They want to tax the health insurance again to fuck with the middle and lower class. Repair protections in Americans with the pre-existing health conditions. Right now, you can get on a policy where there's a pre-existing health condition. Insurance companies cannot turn you away because you have a pre-existing condition. They're trying to roll that back and make it to where these insurance companies can fault you or charge you more or not even insure you because of pre-existing condition. We talked about the birth control ban. Mortgage insurance premiums is going to go up, so it's going to affect the housing market. It's going to affect the middle and lower class on buying a house because the insurance is going to be too much to deal with in a lot of budgets, if you will. There's more to this Project 2025. I'll just give you a basic overview of what is in there, the type of things that's going to take place if the Republicans take over, particularly the White House, and if they gain control of the Senate and maintain the House. We can't let that happen, people. We have to get out here and vote. We have to get out here and vote. We have to get out here and vote. A no vote is a vote for Project 2025. If you have any type of moral about yourself, if you have any type of dignity, If you care about other people other than yourself, if you have brain cells, you will know that voting for a Republican agenda is the biggest risk to our national security and to democracy in the history of this country. Some of you are too stupid to realize that. Some of you are too stupid to know that you are digging your own fucking graves by voting for this mess. Project 2025 is real, people. You got to treat it like it's real. You got to get out there and vote. And be smart. Don't, yeah. I have never told anybody what to do in regards to voting, but this year is like I am required to tell you guys, do not vote Republican. Do not vote Republican, because every Republican right now is a part of the cult. They are going along with the bullshit that Donald Trump has started and all his minions have implemented across the nation. If you're that fucking stupid to vote for that, then everything that comes out of this, if Trump wins, everything that comes out of it that affects you, you deserve that. Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be stupid. Especially my people, my black people. If you're black and you're gonna vote for Trump, I need to talk to you. I need you to talk to off this ledge, because you're about to commit political suicide. It's not even about policy at this point. It's about morality. It's about human decency. If you listen to the orange idiot and his campaign rants, if you will, there's no policy in there whatsoever. He has no fucking clue what he's talking about. This man is an idiot. And if you're stupid enough to vote for an idiot, then that says a lot about you. It says a lot about you as a person, what type of person you are. You got to be foul to support foul. And I need you to point yourself out. If you're in my circle, or very little circle, if you're outside of my circle, and I may let you stick a toe in every now and then. If you're planning to vote for Trump, let me know who you are, because I need to know how to handle you. The best way to handle you is just stay the fuck away from you, period. That's the best way to handle you. Second way to handle you is to try to educate you. Try to give you the knowledge, the wisdom that you need to make better decisions about yourself and about your life. But this vote is about who you are as a person. It's about who you are as a person. You can either be decent or you can be indecent. No gray area in this election. You're either a good person or you're an asshole. There's no in between. You can't straddle the fence on this one. Fuck policy at this point. Even though I'm confident that if Joe Biden regains in the White House, he's old, he walks slow, he stutters, and he done stuttered his whole fucking life. But what's the alternative? We're in a two-party system. Third-party candidate is not going to win nothing. You vote for a third-party candidate, you are throwing away a vote. You're giving a vote to dictatorship. You're giving a vote for Project 2025 to come to fruition if you vote independent, because they don't have a snowball chance in hell. So why waste your vote? But for you MAGA Trump cult members, if you're out there, I need to talk to you. I really need to talk to you. Put your information in my inbox. I'll hit you up. We'll sit down and chat on the air. And I'll let you explain your position. I'll explain my position, and then I'll explain to you why you did as wrong. So, but anyway, it's been an hour well spent. I am actually over my time right now. I have a show coming up behind me that's waiting on me to get up off of here. So, I should be back on Monday. I'm going to continue to talk about Project 2025, if you will. because we need to know more. We need to make sure we're educated, and we need to make sure we're making the right choices. And I can't sleep at night if I don't give you my take on the situation, because I need you to make informed decisions as to what direction you're going to go in. And I hope it's not to the right. But once again, I want to thank you for joining me right here on WPMM Internet Radio on the Ttwg. I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, I have some exciting news to share with you on Monday when I do come back. I won't know that news until Sunday, so I'll hold that inside until Monday afternoon. Hopefully, I can be able to announce some positive, good things about what's going on with me, if you will. So we'll see. But I want to once again thank you for joining me. Be back on Monday. Weekend is coming up. I think the Blues are flying this weekend. If you're in Pensacola area, the beach is going to be crazy. If you're not out there already, you're probably late, because I think they fly tomorrow at their practice, and then they fly Saturday at the real show. And we already know getting on the beach, getting on off the beach when it's busy is hectic, especially when they have this air show. It is absolutely crazy out there. So y'all be safe. It's hot out there, so make sure you stay hydrated. Check on your people, your elderly people. Make sure they're taken care of, and take care of each other. And let's stop the killing. Stop the killing, people. Stop killing ourselves. Stop doing the work of those people who want us dead. So, but I'm out of here. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. God be good.